Hi guys, Assassin here, and welcome to my 199th video. I'll be starting off this video by talking quickly about my 200th, but then it'll continue into the class review. So if anyone wants to know about my 200th video coming up soon, stay for that bit first, and then if you want to leave when the class review starts, I'll put like a title card in when the class review starts. If you don't care about my 200th, then I will put in the description when the class review starts. And it's going to be quite a long class review, I would imagine, in this video. So this video might be quite long. Right, let's just quickly get into the 200th video to start off with, though. My 200th video will be a live stream. It will be on GTA 5 again, on the online. It will be sometime in the coming weeks, probably after the 16th of December. So there's going to be a long time without any videos. I'm sorry about that, but for my 200th I want it to be amazing, and I want to have enough time to live stream the whole thing, and I want it to be roughly 3 to 4 hours like my 100th video. And the only time I can get that is in the Christmas break, because we haven't broken up yet. We break up on the 16th, and it's the 6th now. So technically not my day off anymore. My day off was the 5th. So yeah, it's gonna, hopefully I want to get my fellow YouTubers, JammerDodger123, Game Extreme 195, maybe some others, and I would love it if you watching now would be able to make it to the live stream, because I had so much fun on my 100th. And I know I'm going to have some fun on my 200th, because I've got so much stuff planned with my brews. And maybe I'll do like every now and again, I'll do maybe 5 minutes of a Q&A, possibly, or something like that. But yeah, 200th video, GTA special live stream. Going to be doing some missions, going to be doing some of the like sports games, like maybe one. I was going to say tennis, but I don't think we should do tennis. We did tennis last time, and we did a massive round of golf with JammerDodger123. So I may have to shorten those two down if I want to have a game of those. But yeah, I'll be doing some missions, some stuff like that. Maybe some. We'll be doing some of the new biker DLC stuff as well. Well, I say new; it's quite old at this point, but we're doing some of the biker DLC stuff as well. So yeah, all that good stuff. I think that's everything on the 200th video front. So yeah, it's going to be really amazing. I want it to be one of my best videos yet. I want it to be one of my most viewed videos yet. However, I will say in this video, if the comments start getting a little bit too, lack of a better word, explicit, I will be kicking those people from the live chat, because I want it to be fun for everyone and no sort of abuse or anything towards other people or anything like that. So just a pre-warning now, if anyone is going to be a dick, I will kick you. Maybe I'll give one warning depending on how bad it is, and then the second one will just be a straight kick off the live chat. So yeah. Anyway, I think that is everything for the 200th video. Right, on to the class review. Right, this is episode 8, The Lost. Now, I'll go over what I liked about this episode first. It started off quite surprisingly. Oh yeah, by the way, spoilers. I know I don't say this very often, but I'm just going to say this now just in case. But yeah, spoilers. Right at the beginning, Ram's dad. It starts off with April singing a new song in what looks like a bar or a tavern. A new song that she's written, which is good for her. She's doing really well. Ram, and they're all sort of not talking to each other still from episode 6, which was Detained. So it feels like it comes straight from that episode, as it should, which is amazing. But yeah, they're still not talking to each other. Ram gets a message phone call from Tanya. He doesn't answer. Starts walking away from his dad, and then his dad gets stabbed through the chest by Kurakinus. I think that's how you say the Shadow King's name. Kurakinus. I'm gonna refer to him as such. So yeah, that I thought was an amazing scene. How they recorded that. I honestly didn't think when I saw the trailer that is what he was screaming at. I was really shocked. Then it sort of goes and shows Miss Quill how she is still pregnant, which is quite good. I like how they kept that all the way through until the end. Don't know what's going to happen with her baby yet. There's a lot of small things like the governors. Actually, no, I'll get to those later because. Then I was really, really shocked when Tamra's Tamra. I'm watching a different program now. When Tanya's mum got impaled as well, I did not think that was going to happen. Like Ram's dad, that was a shocker. Tamra's mum, doing it again. Tanya's mum, that was a definite shocker. I honestly had no idea that was going to happen. I would not have guessed that ever. Then she goes to Miss Quill after that and says she doesn't know where her brothers are. She thinks they might be at the library. Miss Quill and Tanya have an amazing relationship in this episode. How Quill teaches Tanya how to fight. Absolutely brilliant. I love that those two have sort of got some time on screen together that we haven't really seen before. Miss Quill only really sort of goes with Charlie, and she had that little thing at the start of the series with April, but she hasn't really spent a lot of time with Ram, Mateish, sort of, or Tanya. But I feel, that's a place I think. I feel as though their sort of little thing that they had where she was training them how to fight, that was brilliant. But the whole mid half, the sort of the mid half of the episode, I felt was okay. It was sort of it got a bit tedious, but it was still good, and that's really weird to sort of put those two things together. It was tedious, but it was good. There was a lot of small details that I honestly can't remember. Let's see if I can remember everything. Actually, I've still got the video up on my laptop here. I'll skip to sort of the middle point and see what was at the middle. I'm going to skip to the governor's bit. Skip back a little bit further. So they all went to April's house where April's mum got sort of threatened by the Shadow King, Kurakinus. Basically said that they're not going to surrender, and then Ram had a bit of a thing. Ram was really emotional this episode, and I like seeing Ram emotional. He's a bit of a baby, but he's not... actually, I was going to say he's not over the top. A little bit overplayed, but I can sort of... I feel that's okay. A little bit too overplayed. Mateish and Charlie, those two actors, I can't remember what the actors are called, but those two, absolutely superb in this episode. I love Mateish and Charlie in this episode. Slowly becoming my favourite couple of all time. Favourite same-sex couple. In fact, no, forget that. One of my favourite couples. No, because I don't really like many of the couples in TV now, and those two are definitely up there. I might do a video on that at some point. Yeah, they were brilliant in this episode. Again, I can't really remember much of the middle half. That's sort of it. The middle half actually had the gut right. Actually, I'll talk about the third half, then I'll talk about the governors, because the governors really, really annoyed me in this episode, and it sort of spoilt the governors for the whole series for me. And that's a big thing, considering the governors were this awesome thing at the start of the series. I'll get to those near the end, as I said. So, I've gone through most of the good stuff. A lot of the bad stuff came from the end of the episode, but one of my favourite scenes came from near the end as well. So, towards the end, all of the, let's call them classmates, sort of went to the gymnasium and had a showdown once, starting off with each other about whether they should sort of use the cabinet or not, and then the Shadowkin come in and start sort of threatening April and all this other stuff. No, sorry, threatening Mateusz. April decides to give herself up for Mateusz, which that was a good scene. And then when she does, she can read his mind, Kurakainus' mind, and she knows that he is only bluffing, that he will actually still destroy the world, because at this point the shadows are coming through little cracks in space that actually the governors have made somehow by quote-unquote accident. So yeah, she finds out that they're not actually going to, Kurakainus isn't actually going to stop the invasion of Earth. So Charlie, in a massive shock, and this sort of starts off the epic scene, which was my favourite scene in the whole episode. Charlie shoots April, killing Kurakainus. He becomes the new Shadow King, and then he sort of has one final confrontation with Mateusz, basically saying that I have to do this now. Mateusz is trying to stop him all the time, and you can just honestly feel the emotion in that scene where he's trying to stop him from basically causing genocide. It is absolutely phenomenal. And then when Charlie's using the box and the cabinet, and Quill and Tanya are fighting for their life. Even Tanya saves Quill at one point, which was quite funny. Fighting for their lives, watching all the little the Rhodian, that's it. Watching all the little Rhodian sparks fly off, killing all the Shadowkin, then him sending them to the realm of the Shadowkin. That scene, those effects, oh my god, BBC 3, you have surprised me. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm really shocked. It was an amazing scene. And then the last little spark come to take Charlie and kill him off. Because obviously, I forgot to mention the Shadowkin near the start of the episode where they had the confrontation in April's house with April's mum. The Shadowkin actually sprayed like shadow into Charlie's heart, so he became like part Shadowkin, like April. So when he chose to destroy a whole species, him having part Shadowkin in him doesn't really help when you're trying to destroy all the Shadowkin. So it was going to hit him. Quill pushed him out of the way, and it went towards Ram and or April. We never actually saw which one it went into, because Ram sort of put his hand up, and from the camera it looked like he either stopped it or it went into either... actually, no, it might have gone into the Shadowkin as well, because the Shadowkin was behind Ram and April, so we don't know which one the spark went into. Charlie got really upset, the fact that he was supposed to sacrifice himself and go and die with the rest of his people for good, or that he wanted to bring them all back like the prophecy said. Would have been nice to hear something about Mateusz, but I'm pretty sure in that scene Mateusz didn't actually say anything at all after all the Shadowkin were destroyed. So I would have liked to have seen a bit more Mateusz after that bit. But yeah. After that, it went straight downhill for me, and this is what kills me inside. Me, the person that's been asking, who's been hoping that there's going to make a series 2, they've basically confirmed that there's going to be a series 2 from this episode, and this is where... Oh, and I also mentioned, which actually I'll go into that... No, I'll stay in this bit first, and then I'll go on to that bit. I'm trying to keep sort of in a straight line here. So, in the end, Kurakainus' body sat up, Ram ran away, grabbed Quill's gun, which was in the centre of the room, went towards the rest of the quote-unquote classmates, as Kurakainus spoke in April's voice, and she said something like, what are you looking at me for? And they all just looked at her really weird, and that's how the episode ended. What the fuck happened there? That was just random. Like, that was out of nowhere. I was not just... There's not expecting something in a good way, and then there's whatever that was. I'm sorry, but come on, Patrick Ness. You wrote amazing script after amazing script all the way through in this class run, and then you end it off with that? Come on, Patrick. I know it's just you writing it, and I know you're doing an amazing job, and I bet you've been overworked and you've had deadlines and everything. And I love the whole series, Patrick. But come on, what was that episode ending? You were so close to making an amazing ending. Right. I'll now go on to the governors, then I'll say what's wrong with, what's my main problem with the class series. Because there is one big problem, and I said I was going to mention it in the last video in this one. So I will. So I'm just going to pause the clip here so I can actually edit some more footage. Because right now, you won't notice this, because I'll have put the footage over it by now. But there's actually no footage playing, it's just the sort of thing that shows that you've run out of footage and you need to put some more over the voice. So I'll just pause the clip of me talking, and I'll continue it after I've put the footage back in. So, back in a minute. Right, I'm back. I'm just stuck in a clip of Skyrim from the Hillary Clinton video. Yeah, it's the same clip, so if you want any extra footage on Skyrim, not yet, I'm afraid. Sorry. Live streams of Skyrim will be coming soon, by the way. Anyway, back on with the review. So, the governors. Patrick, you ballsed it up. Right, I wanted the governors to be this new thing, just for class. Brand new for class, new villain, like every other villain in class. Its class has been unique. It's been like Doctor Who, but for a sort of younger, more mature, comedic, but also serious, teen-based audience. Brilliant, absolutely amazing. But then, so the governors, if I don't know if I mentioned this back in episode 2, or episode 1 and 2 review, but the robot that Quill made out with was from the governors, and then the head teacher was from the governors, and it all was like this really secretive thing. And halfway through the episode, we saw the head teacher going into the governor's place and saying, I would die before I let you inside. I'll let you see what was inside. And I thought, wow, this is going to lead on to series 2. We're not going to be able to see what's in that cupboard. That's going to be all we're going to see for this series, innit? She's going to go in there, come back out, and that's all we're going to see. And then you fucked it up by showing us what was inside. So it turns out, and spoilers again, even though I shouldn't have to say that. Spoilers, we see what's inside. It's like a cathedral, and it turns out the governors are waiting for this big prophecy day sort of thing, or judgment day, whatever, and the fucking enemy, I'm sorry for swearing, and I'm sorry if one of my relatives is watching this, but this is just too bad, and it hurts me inside physically. The fucking enemy that's supposed to be like the reckoning day, whatever, is the most stupid. Right, this villain was good when it originally came out. I'll tell you what it is in a second. This villain was, and see if you can guess, this villain was good when it first came out. It had one episode in one season of Doctor Who. Yes, it's a Doctor Who villain. Which, first off, I really hoped that it wasn't. As I said a minute ago, I hoped that the governors would just be their own thing. But turns out that they're all believing in a prophecy about a fucking Doctor Who villain. And then it's the most overused Doctor Who villain for like random shit. Okay, see if you can guess it yet. So if you guess it, put it in the comments and see if you can guess what it is without having watching the series or without watching the rest of this video. Most overused Doctor Who villain for no reason. This villain is the fucking Weeping Angel. Yeah, I'm one of those people that don't like the Weeping Angels. They're not scary, they're just fucking dumb. So, there was a Doctor episode called Blink. Now, I don't remember it specific. Well, I do remember it, and remember exactly what happens in it. But I don't remember ever watching it specifically. I just remember what happens in it. Now, I can remember where I was when I was younger, when I was watching most episodes of Doctor Who. Most of them was at my grandparents' because that's where I was when Doctor Who was on at the time. But I never remember watching Blink. I might have missed that one and watched it on a repeat or whatever, but I don't remember that one. And when I did watch it, I thought it might have been okay. The idea was that the Doctor and it was sort of an episode where the Doctor and his companion weren't in the episode, and it was sort of a new thing, new character. They do this every now and again, like they did in. They sort of did the same thing in the, I think it was Flatline episode of Doctor Who, where it was just Clara, only that was about the companion, not about random people. In Blink, which was the Weeping Angels' first ever episode, the Weeping Angels were sort of unexplained as far as I can remember, and they were good. They were sort of unexplained, mysterious, they could be anywhere, they're living statues. And the heroes were Sally Sparrow, I think it's called, and this bloke who I can't remember the name of. And that was a good concept for an episode, where the Doctor sort of had to be rescued by random people, which was, in this case, Sally Sparrow and the bloke. That was a cool idea. Good idea. Then they brought the Weeping Angels back for a River Song episode, and that kind of just sucked, in my opinion. Especially since it was that weird Amy Doctor makeout scene thing. That was... No, thank you. That was just weird. But yeah, I think Flesh of Stone or Flash of Stone, something like that, and whatever the other one was, the two-parter. I thought it was crap, to be honest. I thought it was probably one of the worst episodes in Matt Smith's first series. Yeah, and then they keep using the Weeping Angels every now and again, like they used them in the Night of the Doctor. I think no, not Night of the Doctor. The one where Matt Smith regenerates. They had the Weeping Angels pop out there. They had them, I think, in the last episode of Doctor Who this last season, which was Heaven Sent, I think. Or was it Hellbent? One of the two, I don't care. Yeah, I think they had them in there for like one scene inside the Time Lord vault, whatever. And they're just thrown in whenever. It's like... So, whenever they just throw in an enemy to be like, oh look, generic Doctor Who villain, it's always Dalek, Cyberman, and nowadays, so that's what it used to be. It just used to be... In fact, no, it didn't even used to be, because those two have just been added recently. Because back in Doctor Who, back in like Christopher Eccleston and even David Tennant's, they never really just showed off like, oh look, these villains still exist. They never went like that. Like they did Slithine's hand in Sullivan, whatever his name's, sort of museum in the episode Dalek in Christopher Eccleston's. The Slithine's hand, I think. Oh no, sorry, it was the original Cyberman head. That was good. That was a cool idea. We hadn't seen those in years because Doctor Who had been cancelled. That was brilliant. And then I think that's probably the only time they did it. They might have done like one or two like special like small Easter eggs in some of David Tennant's episodes maybe, but that was it. And this is what annoys me about like sort of, and I know this sounds really nerdy and like stupid because I never watched the Doctor Who classic series. Please don't hang me, but I have been thinking for a while that Doctor Who's been going slightly downhill since Matt Smith started. And I know I'm sorry for people who like Matt Smith, but he's not the worst Doctor, nowhere near. I mean, Matt Smith's pretty good actually. He's in my probably top 5. But they just start throwing random shit in. Like in Matt Smith's, I think, second series, they had the Cybermats come back. Then they had those with teeth. I never remember those because I remember seeing a picture of one and thinking it was adorable. It never had teeth. And the new Cybermen look shit. And then they had all these, like, as I was mentioning before I went on this rant, like, Doctor Who villains that are just there to go, oh, look, we're still a thing in the universe, please love us. Like the Cybermen, Daleks, whenever there's, like, a scene that needs to be shocking and, like, threatening for the Doctor and companion, it's always like, oh, look, a broken Dalek that's coming back to life. Oh, look, a Cyberman's hand moving. Oh, look, Weeping Angel snapping into place with that sound effect. It's shit. And they do it with Peter Capaldi's as well. You need to just stop referencing stuff and start putting them either into episodes themselves, keeping them as Easter eggs like they used to, which was good, or just not putting them in, because it's shit. Anyway, as I was originally saying, so the governors are just doing a prophecy about the Weeping Angels, and personally, I think that's just terrible. So on that cliffhanger ending of April, sort of being Kurakaina's Shadowkin, it's obvious that the BBC are going to make a second series now. It is series because it is this country. second series of it, which I'm happy for. I mean, this video is almost half an hour long. I haven't even got into the big problem I have with the series yet. That wasn't even the big problem. So I know, and it hurts inside knowing that in the second season of a series of Class, knowing that one, the governors are going to be in it. Two, we have to figure out why April's a fucking Shadowkin merge now. That's what I'm calling it. And we know who the main villain's going to be, and if it's not going to be the main villain, then why set up the entire series of like, oh, the governors, oh, I wonder who they could be. Clearly they're going to be the series 2 villain. Clearly they're going to be the series 2 villain, and now we know that really they're just working for the fucking Weeping Angels. And it's just shit. What I love about Class, I'm going to sort of, I think I'm phasing into my third point here. My final point, sorry. The thing I love about Class is that it's original, sort of, right, within context. But it's original. They've got their own villains, like the Lankin. They were awesome. Shadowkin, before they all died, they were awesome, but I understand why they died, and I love the fact that they're out of the scene now. There's no more of them. They're gone. It's good. Love that. And I love that they finally had like a massive confrontation at the end. That's what I wanted. That's all that I wanted. That's how I wanted them to go. They've had the dragon tattoo bloke. Oh, they had the prisoner rock. Oh, hang on a minute. That's all the villains that they've had. This is where I'm going to phase through to my final point. The big problem I have with Class, Series 1 at least, is that there's not enough episodes. Now, I know, as I've said a while back in this review thing, Patrick Ness, you're a great bloke, and I know you must be trying your hardest, because this is some of the best writing I've seen in a Doctor Who sort of spin-off, or Doctor Who itself sort of thing, in a long time. I would put you above Stephen Moffat. I would let you write Doctor Who. In fact, no, I wouldn't, sorry, because I want you to keep writing Class, because you're doing a fucking phenomenal job. But 8 episodes is not enough. Now, unless you specifically asked for 8 episodes, if you did ask for 8 episodes, and only 8 episodes for the first series, I want to come and slap you in the face. But if you were only given 7, I want to go and slap whoever said you can only have 7, because you deserve, I don't know, 12, at least 10, maybe 12 episodes, because some of the things in this series aren't given enough time to develop. So we had the Shadowkin in episode 1, 4, 5, what's that, 1, 4, 5, and 8. We had the Shadowkin for 4 out of the 8 episodes. And yeah, they're a good villain, and I know they need to be developed, but 4 out of 8? So you only had 3, possible 4 other villains, and technically there wasn't a villain in episode 7, Metaphysical Ancient, or what Quill did. There wasn't really a villain in that one, so I'm not going to count that there was a villain. So only 3 villains, other than the Shadowkin. There needs to be more, because I can see these characters, and at the end, when they were saying, oh, it's sort of what we do, and like it's our duty to protect everyone, I don't feel as though it is, because you've only really saved yourselves. Like Shadowkin, they're coming after April specifically, and the Prince. The coach Ram was the only one in real danger there, because he was on the site first. Then he sort of dragged the rest of them in, so they were only protecting themselves. The Lankin, fair enough. In that episode, they did technically save the whole of London by taking down the Lankin. Then next few episodes were Shadowkin. Then the Rock. The only people they saved were themselves in that episode, because it was like the prison thing. And then the Shadowkin again, which again, fair enough, they saved themselves. But they only ever really saved themselves. They never saved the world specifically, apart from like twice, maybe. So, in season 2 I would want to see a lot more actual world and or London at least saving. But yeah, there needs to be more episodes, and I know that must strain the writer Patrick Ness, but take your time with it and write as much as you can. Like, do 10, 12 episodes, 13 if you want, however many episodes. Just, you need to do more. I mean, you've done enough to warrant a fucking medal from me. But more episodes would just make the series a lot better. I feel like I could connect with the characters more if you had more episodes, sort of develop ideas. Sometimes I don't think there's enough to develop ideas very as far as you might want them to. So yeah, in season 2 I hope there's a lot more episodes than just the 8, because 8 just isn't enough for a series like this, and this is an amazing series. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait for series 2, and I know there's going to be a series 2 because of the fucking endings that they did, which I've already mentioned in this video. Right, that is the end of the video, I think, because I can't think of anything else to mention at the minute. So yeah, if there's anything else, I'll do it in the next video I do on Class, which will be a prediction, what I think and what I want to happen in series 2. So I'll do that at some point after my 200th. So yeah, thank you all for watching, guys. I've been Silent Assassin, you've been yourselves, and thank you for watching the reviews of Patrick Ness's. And yes, I will call them Patrick Ness's because he wrote and created Class, as it says on Wikipedia and in the episodes themselves. I don't care who the director is, it's Patrick Ness's The Class, or just Class. Thank you all for watching. Silent Assassin. Yeah. Bye! Oh, by the way, this is the 3rd time I'm recording this clip, and if I fuck up this time, I'm going to be very annoyed.